I can't buy the air I breathe. I can't buy the trees. I can't buy the deepest seas. But it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.
Hello and welcome to Around the World in 88 Tales. I'm David Heathfield. I'm here in the museum, the Royal Albert Memorial Museum in Exeter. And you can see behind me where I am, but I'll more about the artifact, this beautiful animal, in a moment. But first of all, I'd like to welcome Dr. Laxman Gnawali from Nepal. Hello, Laxman.
Hi, David. Nice to meet you.
It's wonderful that you're here with us all the way
Yes.
from Nepal. Laxman, can I ask you to begin by introducing yourself and telling us about you and your interest in storytelling and why you're interested in this project?
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I'm Laxman Gnawali from Nepal. I was born and brought up in the western hills of Nepal, but now I live in the capital city, Kathmandu. I work for Kathmandu University, where I'm now in the office now. And I'm interested in storytelling because I grew up with the stories. And most most stories I heard were at one particular situation. The situation is this. In the, toward the end of August, beginning of September, we harvest corn, maize. And how that happens is when they dry in the tree, then we chop them and bring them, the cobs. And the cobs need to be husked, husking. It takes time. So the whole family, after the dinner at home, they sit together, they start husking until everybody falls asleep. So the grandfathers, grandmothers, and parents, they try to encourage children to husk more by telling them stories, interesting stories. So that's when I heard the stories at my home and also my maternal family. So I grew up with the stories. And I'm interested in this project because I see that you're working so hard to preserve this cultural heritage from around the world. And I would like my culture as well, Nepalese culture as well, to go globally. So I'm here to be a little part of your project.
That's absolutely wonderful. So you're in Nepal now. I'm just going to make sure everybody is clear about about Nepal. So
yes.
Here we are.
Yes,
India and Nepal, and this is the location.
There, China and India. It's in between, so we call it the yam between two boulders.
Right. And a very big, very, very high place.
Yes,
among the clouds.
Yes,
well, I've been very fortunate to come to Kathmandu on 2 occasions and share stories. But right now, let's begin with the story. And you can see behind me this elephant. And we know that we have in the world African elephants and we have Asian elephants. And this, of course, is an African elephant. We can see by the huge ears. And the story I'm going to share is an African elephant story. And afterwards, I'll invite you, Laxman, to tell a story. And while I'm telling the story, please, could people on Facebook, whether you're watching live or recorded, you can, or on YouTube, you can give comments and let us know what you think about our stories. And join in with the storytelling. In fact, my story is a story that you can definitely join in with. It's a story that I learned from a teacher who comes from South Sudan. So here we are. Okay. And his name is Adam Cholong Ohiri Aham. And Adam is from Juba in South Sudan, and I met him at a teaching conference, a conference that you know, Laxman, the International Association of Teachers of English as a Foreign Language Conference 8 years ago in Liverpool. And this is a story that at that conference, Adam shared with me, and it brought us together. We even wrote about storytelling together. So here's the story. It features an elephant, and it also features a hare, you know, a hare with long ears, very fast. And the hare is a trickster in Sudanese culture, or in Otuho culture, because Adam comes from the Otuho people. And also in the story, there's a crane, a beautiful black bird with a long neck, long legs, and black feathers, a crane. Here we go with the story. Now, once long ago, Elephant was a farmer. An elephant was looking after his farm full of fresh beans were growing. Beautiful, shooting, fresh, ripe, green, sweet beans. And Hare, trickster Hare, came along and saw those beans, and Hare was hungry. And Hare ate and ate and ate and ate, and Hare filled his belly, and then he ate some more. But at that moment, suddenly there appeared Elephant. Hare, who's been eating all of my beans? Oh, I was just asking myself the same question, said Hare. All of your beans have been eaten, and we must find out who did it. Hare was very smart. I know, let's go to the fortune teller. The fortune teller will tell you who stole your beans. Very well, said Elephant. I'll meet you there. And Elephant started going to the fortune teller. Hare laughed at how heavily Elephant walked. And when Elephant was gone, Hare quickly made a figure in the shape of a farmer. And he went to the sticky gum tree, and he got resin, and he coated that figure in sticky gum resin. Then up jumped Hare, and off he ran. He ran all the way to where the crane was resting in the water. Crane, said Hare. Beautiful, long-legged, long-necked black crane stood in the water. Are you hungry? Said Hare. Yes, said Crane. No fish have come. There's a farm near here where you can get some free food. Why don't you come? Really? Said Crane. I'll follow you. So Hare hopped and jumped, up jumped Hare, and off he ran. And Hare ran through the fields, and Crane took to the air and flew elegantly above Hare until they came to the farm. And there was that farmer figure just standing still. And Crane landed in front, and Hare said, here's the farmer. Farmer, will you greet us and give us some free food? But the farmer didn't move and said nothing. How rude, said Hare. And Hare pretended to hit the farmer. You're very rude. Why don't you hit him, Crane? Well, Crane reached out a long, long leg and kick, and his foot stuck to the sticky figure of that farmer. Oh, that farmer is so rude, said Hare. He doesn't even say hello. Give him another kick. And foolish Crane kicked the farmer with his other foot, and now 2 feet were stuck fast against that sticky figure. And Hare, well, laughed, and Crane flapped his big black wings, trying to get away, and stick, the wings were stuck too. Oh, Crane cried out. Hare laughed. He plucked one small black feather from the crane's tail, and up jumped Hare, and off he ran. Hare ran all the way to the fortune teller. Elephant was waiting. "Where have you been, Hare? I've been waiting for you." "I had some jobs to do," said Hare. "Now I'm here. Now, fortune teller, will you tell us who has stolen Farmer Elephant's beans?" The fortune teller took stones in his hands, shook the stones, and let them fall. When the elephant and the fortune teller and Hare looked at those stones, among them was a small black feather. "How did it get there?" "Look," said Hare. "What does it mean? Does it mean that the thief is still in the field?" "Perhaps it does," said the fortune teller. "And what does that black feather mean?" "Perhaps," said the fortune teller, "the thief has black feathers." "Really?" said Hare. "Elephant, let's go and see." And Elephant ran, and Hare tried to catch up. Up jumped Hare, and off he ran, all the way back to the farm. And when they reached the farm, they found Crane stuck to that sticky figure, and Crane was crying out and trying to escape. "Look," said Hare, "there's your thief." "Is it? Well, look at the feathers." "Yes," said Elephant, "this thief has black feathers, just like the feather we found." "Oh, hit him," said Hare. Elephant struck that poor Crane. The Crane cried out in pain. The Elephant beat and beat and beat the Crane. The Crane cried out in pain, and Hare laughed and laughed. Crane said, "Elephant, I didn't eat your beans. I didn't eat your beans." "Don't listen to him," said Hare, and beat and beat and beat went Elephant. But now Crane said, "Elephant, Hare tricked me. Perhaps Hare tricked you." And Elephant stopped. "Yes. When I discovered all my beans were gone, it was Hare who was there." And Elephant turned, and although Hare was quick, Elephant caught Hare. "Ah, Hare, I'm going to throw you against the hard road and break your bones." "Yes," said Hare, "throw me against the hard road and break my bones, but whatever you do, don't throw me into the long grass." "Ah, is that what you're afraid of?" said Elephant. And Elephant threw Hare into the long, soft grass. How Hare laughed. Up jumped Hare, and off he ran. But Elephant came after him. Elephant was faster. Elephant stampeded and caught Hare with his trunk. But Hare got down into a hole in the roots of a tree. "I've got you, Hare." "Oh, no," said Hare. "Your trunk is wrapped around the roots of the tree." "What?" Elephant let go and then tried again. And now his trunk was around the roots of the tree. But Hare cried out, you got me, Elephant, don't pull me." Elephant said, "I've got you now." And he pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled with such great strength as only elephants have, that great tree began to sway and creak, and it crashed to the ground. Hare jumped out. Elephant went after him. "I'll get you, Hare." Hare went down another hole between the roots of a tree. Elephant reached down, caught hold of Hare's leg. But Hare said, No, you've got the tree trunk, the tree roots, not me." Elephant unwrapped his trunk, but now his trunk was around the roots. And Hare said, "Oh, you've got me now, Elephant, don't pull me up." "I've got you now." And Elephant pulled and pulled, and another tree crashed to the ground. And Hare went to another tree, and another tree, and another tree, and every tree he tricked that foolish elephant, and every tree crashed to the ground. And they say in South Sudan that all the trees are falling still because of that foolish elephant and that trickster Hare. And Adam Ohiri, who told me this story, said the Otuho stories are all about taking care of our land, of the trees and the environment. All around the world, the trees are falling. But I ask you, all of you, is it because of the trickster Hare, do you think? Or because of another foolish creature. Thank you,
wonderful.
Adam Ohiri, for that story.
Great story. Yes. Actually, we have a proverb in Nepal. You hold the root of the tree and you miss out the rat.
Wow.
You know the rat? Yeah. Okay. You go running after the rat, but you catch hold of the tree root because you mistook it for the rat.
It's almost the same.
Yes.
The same in Nepal and the same in Sudan.
Yes. Yes.
Laxman, I've told you a story that I'm inspired to tell by this wonderful elephant. This elephant was hunted and shot by a British big game hunter in, let me just check what my information, in Kenya, nearly 100 years ago. And now I think actually more than 100 years ago, and now it stands here in this museum, sadly lifeless. And we know that in Africa, the elephants need to be protected because of hunting and poaching. But elephants are really important in Nepal and in parts of Nepal and in the culture of, and certainly among people of that part of the world. Can you tell us about elephants and about a story?
Thank you. Yes, you're right. Elephant is actually one of the gods. I mean, the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Ganesh has got elephant head. You might have seen it.
Yes.
I think you know the story. So it's actually the body is the human or whatever you call it, God's body, but the head is elephants. So from then on, we worship elephants as gods, as Ganesha. And today, I'm going to tell you a story, which is actually commonly known in Nepal. When you ask me to tell a story which has an elephant as a theme or a character, because I come from the hillside and I try to find stories, but in my part of the world, most stories are about jackals and foxes and then hares and then horses and things, but elephants, because there were no elephants in the hills, our forefathers didn't have elephant stories. But somehow there is one story that most schoolgoers actually grow up listening to it and they know it, but I thought, let me share it to the world. So I've got that story here. And it's the story titled A Story of Two Friends. In Nepali, the word friend has two words. One is just a friend, sathi, that is being together, a companion, maybe close companion, but it just means companion. But there's another word, meet, in Nepali. You actually formally declare you are friends of that level. And it doesn't happen with many. So then when we become friends of that level, meet, then actually we are together for life. Even if we go away, then we say, so-and-so is my meet. It's not just the friend that we were together for some time, for some reason, but we have now sort of bonded ourselves to be friends forever. So here goes the story. Once upon a time, in the southern part of Nepal, where there was jungle all around, there lived two friends. One was an owl, and the other was an elephant. Sorry. I think I used background. So
if you show it in front of you, we will see it.
No, the problem was I had used background. So yes. So there's an elephant. So this elephant and the owl were friends, and they used to live. How do I say, on a tree or at the tree? Because the elephant used to live under the tree, and the owl used to live up the tree, but they were friends. Every day, they used to go away in search of food, in search of water. They used to go away, but in the evening, at the time of dusk, they would come back. And the owl would sit on a branch of the tree, and the elephant would stand under the tree and later would sit down. They used to tell each other stories about what happened today, where they went, what they ate, what the weather was like, who they met, and what was good about the day. And after long conversations, they used to go to sleep. It was the same every day. And these friends were not just friends for now. They are committed to each other that they will rather die for the friend than give up the friendship. They will never give up the friendship. That's what they had committed to. But once what happened, a disaster befell upon them. It was a usual day. The owl returned home and looked around. The elephant wasn't there. He waited. He expected the elephant would arrive anytime soon. And after some time, when it was a little darker than the dusk, then he just grew concerned because the elephant was not around. He must be on the way. He didn't come. It was dark. But slowly what happened, the moon rose and there were stars like the popcorns all over in the sky. And there was a pond nearby the tree. He looked at the pond where he could see the shade of the shadow of the moon and the stars. And up in the sky, he saw the moon and the stars, and around him, the trees. It was just like any other evening, but the evening was not cool. It was cold. The moon and the stars were not shining. They were just there. That's what he felt. His heart started pounding. What happened? Every day he came back and told me the story of the day, but today he's missing. What happened to him? Maybe he found a female partner. He forgot me. That little female partner may have, made him betray me. No, he can't do that. What happened to him? Was he attacked? Did he lose the way? Where do I go? If I go in the east direction, he might be on the other direction. What do I do? And then he hooted loudly, thinking that the elephant may come home. It was midnight. The elephant was not home. And he looked around. He couldn't sleep. He just thought of the worst thing that may have happened to his friend. But also he thought he will come. Anytime he will come. If he heard any, leaves falling, any scratch, he would look that side, but there was no elephant. It was towards the morning. The day hadn't broken, actually. Just before that, then he heard the footsteps and the sound of the elephant walking on the dry leaves. And he came down to the lowest branch of the tree. And then he said, "My friend, where are you? What happened to you? I was so worried about you. Did you meet someone?" He had lots of questions. And slowly, that gigantic animal, the elephant, spoke in a lowest, quietest voice. He said, "My friend, I'm here to bid goodbye to you. I just wanted to ask for forgiveness. If I had hurt you in some way, if I had made any mistakes with you, please forgive me. I'm never going to come back. I've got to go." What does he say? He thought, what happened to you? Somebody tricked you? You fell ill? Or you found a partner? I mean, why you are leaving me? And he said, no, I'm not leaving you, but I have got to go. I just wanted to tell you that I'm not going to come back. Don't leave the tree. Live here. We've lived here together forever. And he said, friend, tell me, we are myths, the true friends, committed friends. Tell me, what happened? And the elephant said, you know, friend, they are going to chop my body into small pieces, and the monsters are going to eat my meat. Who are they? Tell me. And the elephant said what had happened that day. In search of food, that day, the elephant had taken to north, and he had reached the mountain, the bottom of the mountains. And then he had gone into the mountains, into a quiet, peaceful place. He had eaten greenest grass he had ever found. But he, without thinking much, he went further into the mountains. And it was so quiet, at one point he felt terrible quietness, terrible peace. He thought, there must be some danger. Let me go back home. So as he was turning towards south, then there came a monster. And monster said, oh, you are here. Our king dreamt of, killing one elephant and eating elephant meat. And right here, you are here. Okay, we are so happy. And by the time he was telling him that you can't get everything you get in the dream, there are other monsters. And then he saw there were monsters, many of them, and they were dancing around a big fire. And from one mouth of a cave, more monsters were coming like the water. And they came. And then they pulled him toward the cave and there came the king. And he said, oh, I dreamt and you were here. I'd asked my monsters to go and find one elephant for the feast, but you're here. Good, thank you. Do you get everything you dream? He said, why not? I'm a king. My dreams have always come true. And he said, no, you can't do it. Then they said that they were going to kill him. Then what the elephant said, look, I've got a friend. Let me go and say goodbye to him. I'll come back. He said, okay, if that is the last wish, go, but you must come. Then the elephant left. On the way, he met one deer. Dear. The deer was busy eating grass. Do you think every dream comes true? Yes, he said. And he went further. There was a wild elephant. Hello, do you think all dreams come true? Yes. So anyone he asked, everybody said, yes, all dreams come true. And then it was late. So he arrived home nearly in the morning. And now he has to go. Then the elephant said, if you're going to die, why not try anything we can do? He said, what can we do? The monsters are going to kill me. And he said, one day when I hurt my wing, then what you did, you used to lie down, let me climb up, and we would go further. I would find food on the ground because you would lie. I come down, eat, and I climb up. You would bring me home. That's how my wounds healed. Now, I think I know what to do. Let me climb onto your back, and you take me there. I'll do something. So they started, and then walked. After hours, then they reached that place. And the monsters were waiting for the elephant. When he comes, they're going to kill him and eat him and feast upon him. But when the elephant with the owl on the back reached the group of monsters with the king, then the owl just woke up or pretended to wake up. He said, oh, where's the princess? Where's the princess? He shouted. Why do you look for princess? The king said. Because I just dreamt of, marrying the princess here. And, that's nonsense. You don't get anything. or everything. You dream. No, I do. My dreams come true. No, forget it. You dream and you get a king's daughter, a princess. Yes, if I don't get to marry the princess, how can you dream and kill the elephant? It's the same. With this argument, they won, and the monsters let the elephant and the owl go free, and they came back home. On the way, they ate food and came back home, and then they were, as usual, there. Then they lived happily ever after. So, a flower garland to the one who tells the story, and a gold garland to the one who listens to it. This story will go to heaven, Lord Vishnu's heaven, and will come back ready to be told when summoned. Thank you so much. This is my story.
Laxman, thank you so much. There's so much in that story. There's so much in there to think about and to learn from. But this idea of the committed friendship, and I think when we share stories, our friendship grows, and we're sharing stories across cultures, across the world, and this sharing makes the world a more beautiful place. There's so much to learn. Wow, thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much, Laxman Gnawali.
Thank you.
A good friend of mine and a wonderful teacher and a teacher of teachers in Kathmandu.
By the way, can I ask, I haven't found one. I mean, the two terms for friendship, friend and meet, Sathi and meet. The meet I said, and you don't become that kind of friend without exchanging something. Usually we exchange handkerchiefs.
There's a word we use in English like soulmate. But this is usually used with a partner, like a husband and wife, not so much with a lifelong friend.
That.
No.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that.
I can't think of an exact translation for this idea of a very, very, very close friend.
Now, in our generation, it is less, but in our parents' generation, everyone used to have maximum two, usually only one. You would have only one meet, only one that kind of friend. And the family now becomes a different family. That is like, that is my Mit's family, and this is your Mit's family. So now we wouldn't even marry a crush. So that was interesting, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Laxman, thank you so much for being part of Around the World in 88 Tales. Looking forward to just later this week, we'll have our next story share. Hope you can join us, everyone, on Facebook. Keep leaving your comments. Yes, I know I've got elephants on my shirt today.
Okay.
Goodbye, Laxman.
Goodbye. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
The trees, I can't buy the deepest seas, but it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.